Hello, AfriCell people. AfriCell has done it again.
What is it this time?
Simply use your AfriMoney account to buy credit, data, and cash power to get the chance to win up to $500,000.
That is fantastic.
If you don't have an AfriMoney account, now is the perfect time to get it. Call 777 to activate your AfriMoney account and increase your chances to win up to $500,000.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow. Tired of seeing the message you have insufficient funds in your account? Worry no more. With AfriCell, the cholera credit just got way better.
Now you can continue your conversations with your loved ones. With the new Kolale credit, you can now borrow up to $250 credit. Send a blank SMS to 152 to get your Kolale credit and activate the service of your choice. For more info, please call 111.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
When we started this project, we looked at few things: location, accessibility, and the potential for growth. All these things make sense from a homeowner and investor's point of view. But we wanted to do more than that. We decided to offer services as well. This means providing infrastructure like water and electricity, as well as internal roads to widen the accessibility to properties, especially for the first-time buyers. A lot of people are buying land these days, but can't either access it for the next 2 to 3 years, and even
headlines. And now the news in detail. After touring the length and breadth of the country, the president sums up his constitutional mandated nationwide tour at the capital city of Banjul, where the head of state warned the Banjul City Council authorities not to inaugurate its new structure without inviting central government authorities, just like KMC did. Modo El Baji files in this report.
The central government has over the years funded the construction for modern complexes for the local government offices across the country, which was aimed at creating conducive working environment to councils for effective service delivery to the people in their local communities. And most of these structures are at their final stage of completion, excluding the one for the Kanifing municipality, KMC, which was inaugurated months ago. His Excellency President Barrow warned Banjul City Council not to inaugurate their new complex without inviting the central government. He added that the new edifices in the municipality were funded by the central government, and government has the powers to decide when to inaugurate the facilities. He added that they could have stopped KMC from inaugurating their building, but that was not in the interest of the country. Moreover, the president assured the city dwellers that his government have plans for the capital. He gave assurance that government will actualize the promises made during the tour. Speaking on behalf of his fellow councillors, Aziz Dabakh Gay applauded President Barrow for the Banjul Road Rehabilitation Project and for supporting their lightening project. The young councillor pleaded to the president to look into the issue of warehouses, as part of the city has been turned to warehouses, which is gradually forcing residents to settle in the combos. Councillor Gay called government to boost sporting facilities, affordable housing, and parking spaces in the city. The Energy Minister, Honorable Abdul Job, said government project in his ministry will tremendously increase the water supply in the country, adding that the putting of street lights on the Bone Road and other parts of the island city is part of his ministry's plan. Honorable Sirif Abasanyang said it's part of government's plan to provide affordable housing facilities for the natives of Banjul and the country at large. The local government minister urged local government authorities to keep their municipality clean, which he said to be the responsibility of local government. Reporting for Star TV, I am Modu El Paji.
The Public Relations Officer of the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service, Mr. Pate Jiba, in an interview with Star TV's Awasani, discloses some of the challenges firefighters face while on duty, which includes the lack of proper equipment to suppress fire outbreaks. Awasani reports.
The closure was made during an interview with Star TV, where the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service spokesman reveals that firefighters do not have the required equipment to quell high-risk fire outbreaks in the country. PRO Pate Jiba illustrates how some of the firefighters are being treated at the scene by the community and the damages it causes.
The fire department don't belong to me. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the state. And all of us put together, are people that can comfortably boast that we are Gambians. So let's take responsibility of what belongs to us and avoid vandalizing what belongs to us. We cannot wear our clothes, dress beautiful just to get to the street and start tearing them off our bodies. You know, we could be called mad people, right? So equally, if the fire engine is en route to a scene of fire, it parks and wants to do its job. The least that is expected from us is not to do what we're doing. But here, unfortunately, what we do is we will blame the fire department for things that they know nothing about. And at the end of the day, we don't stop at blaming them. We will throw stones at the vehicle and break all the glasses. And then the next minute, we get our men injured. And these are young boys, men and women, who have been brought in to protect life and property. So it is our soul. We take it, it is ours. We do not, it is also ours. We have no place to fall back to. This is our dear motherland. There is no other place called the Gambia, in as much as I understand. Only this country is called the Gambia. So every Gambian falls back to the Gambia. So we cannot destroy our nation.
Jiba says such unfortunate factors could lead to the late arrival of their officers at fire scenes, as he appeals for support to get the necessary equipment needed to mend the situation.
So every Gambian falls back to the Gambia. So we cannot destroy our nation. We have to keep it cool and move it to the level of our ability so that our children will have something to tell, that our forefathers were doing what is right. Fire service is for the Gambian people. Let's all put our hands together and move it. It doesn't make difference, but to me, it's like if anyone can help to sustain the fire department by either in the provision of equipment, in the provision of appliances, in the provision of training, you're complementing government's efforts. And of course, trying to help yourself, because when there is any need for them to intervene, these are the people that you invested in that will come and take care of you. And I would also like to applaud the media houses, to help us out. Not only...
He thus sought the cooperation of the public through local authorities to better execute their operations to ensure the safety of people in the course of fire outbreaks. GFRS spokesperson says it's concerned over the frequent occurrence of such unfortunate incidents, saying such behaviors can result in the loss of lives. He believes that in other countries, fire service organizations are managed by councillors and called on Gambians and residents of the country to assess the department. Awasane for Star TV News.
The Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy concludes a 2-day retreat meant to evaluate and lay plans for the future as the ministry works towards digitalizing the communication sector in the country. Binta Koli attended the retreat and she prepares this report.
The Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy continues to prioritize and push for the government's unwavering support to the revitalization and development of the line institution under the ICT sector. The ministry is working hand in glove with stakeholders to see that it is an achievable goal by bringing all hands on deck for the 2-day retreat. Speaking to journalists, the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Usman Ba, shed light on the benefits of the retreat.
This retreat is to look at what all the SOEs that are under my preview, what have they done from January 2022 to November 2022. So we want to look at their success, their shortcoming, their plan for next year 2023, their challenges, and we'll see what their roadmap is and how they would perform or what their plan is for the next 12 months. And look at all the people who have also gone beyond and above their duties. And we want to recognize them as well. I think it's important. And with that said, as my job as a Minister of Communication and Digital Economy is to inspect, evaluate, and teach and guide. So that is the reason why we are here.
With regards to moving from analog to digital technologies, this is what Minister Ba has to say.
With Digital Gambia, we all know right now we are on analog. So we are going to move to digitalize our television contents. That being said, we are working very hard with the stakeholders that are interested in working with us, with Digital Gambia, One is definitely we need to continue working with them in terms of going digital. What that means, we have to secure the fund that would allow us to do what is necessary to make sure that every Gambian citizen is able to watch television GRTS in their home. So also with that said, we have actually in the advanced stage with Digital Gambia for the funding that would provide them with this infrastructure that is required.
Knowing Gamtel and the important role they play in communication, Honorable Bah again.
Has to go digital. And when I say digital, I'm talking about build platform that they can have what we call one-stop shopping. Customers can come and get all their services. Let me just name few. Customers can come and pay their bill through Gamtel platform. Customers can come make reservations for restaurants, hotel, all these digital services or e-services through Gamtel platform. Gamtel need to expand their network to make sure that the whole country, by 2024, nobody is left behind in terms of internet availability. And on that note, Gamtel also has to look at the infrastructure they have and see how they are going to improve the infrastructure in this country.
Managing Director of Gambia Postal Services, Abdullah Tambedu, buttressed on the achievement of his institution.
And during this year is that we have attained some profitability, and we used to have losses in the past few years. However, we have tried to reduce those losses into profits. We have also achieved some improvement in deliveries. We all know that it used to take much more number of days to deliver, even within the country, and we have reduced that to a minimal level. And also the level of savings banking also have been not been very interesting over the years. However, we have tried to improve on the savings volumes, and also
the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy convey a quarterly retreat to review and evaluate the ministry's activities and progress. For Star TV News, I am Binta Kuli.
The Women Journalists Association of the Gambia on Tuesday successfully relaunched the association and adopted its constitution at the Paradise Suite Hotel in Kololi. Hadijaju has the rest of the story.
The event brought together members of the Women Journalists Association and partners who contributed immensely to the success of the event. In her keynote address, the president of the Women Journalists Association, Ms. Annette Anta Kamara, said this is a fulfillment of the campaign promise, which aims at discussing the challenges women face in the media.
In addition to this conference, we will also review and adapt the Constitution and reposition WOJAC to become a viable and highly functional organization that will realize that will engender the realization of our vision for a sustainable future for women in the media. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it could be recalled that at the recently held annual Journalism Conference Awards, it was revealed that 49 shortlisted candidates of all categories of awards, only 16 were women, which equates to just about 33%.
With a view to provide solutions in order for women to get equal opportunities in the media. As he highlighted some of the challenges women are facing in the media, Ms. Kamara asserts the association's support to change the dynamics in the media for women and also build the capacity of journalists through specialized training. WOJAC is working closely with the press union to advocate for the promotion of the rights and welfare of women in the Gambian media, she added.
With that, the media in the Gambia is male-dominated. Few women who are breaking the glass ceiling in the newsroom are going through under tremendous challenges, ranging from sexual harassment to gender discrimination in employment matters, such as promotion and role allocation. In fact, a study commissioned by the Gambia Press Union reveals that 65% of the media workers experience sexual harassment at their workplaces, and more than 85% of such cases are perpetrated by men. The surgeon,
Youth Cole, a veteran journalist, buttressed the need to support journalists in this country as they are key contributors to the development of any country.
I believe that when we say the youth are the future leaders of this country, they are the current leaders of this country. So that is how we should see it. And make sure that whatever they organize and they invite the government, somebody must come, listen to them, engage them, and then try to see how to work together with them, on recommendations, on improving the media environment in this country, but also contributing to development. These people cover all aspects of development, from education to health to agriculture, community development, you name it.
President of the Gambia Press Union, Mohamed Esba, talked about the significant role of women in the media.
In media is very key. It revolves around 4 axes of media, which is ensuring media freedom, enhancing media pluralism, and also strengthening media independence and safety.
Demba Kande, Freedom House representative, says his thought regarding women in the media, adding that women holding key positions in the media constitute less than 15% despite being majority in most scopes.
Numbers of women in journalism are only at entry-level positions in most newsrooms. In fact, if you look at the numbers, women in leadership positions in the media constitute less than 15%, despite commanding a majority in most newsrooms.
The Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Bakari Waibaji, asserts his ministry's support and collaboration with the Women Journalists Association of the Gambia to strengthen the capacity of women journalists.
I have a responsibility to work towards changing that dynamic, to ensure that if you have a country that has a population half of the population is women, that we wouldn't claim that managerial roles, the field should be dominated by women, but we believe there should be a significant representation of women in the media, of women in leadership positions. And I also want
Minister Baji congratulated the president of WAJAC and her entire team for organizing such an important event as he relaunched the association. For Star TV News, I am Hadijajo.
From that story, we will now take a short commercial break, and when we return, the news continues.
Using AfriMoney, here are a few steps. Go to the nearest Afri agent, tell them how much you want to deposit. Give the agent your number and the cash. You will receive an SMS notification from 777 confirming the deposit. To check and confirm your balance, dial *777#. Select option 7, My Account. Select option 1, Check Balance. Enter your PIN to receive your balance. With AfriMoney, Sajahle Jehna.
As part of government's commitment towards universal health coverage and also digitize the civil registration and vital statistics systems in the country, the Ministry of Health and partners will embark on a mass birth registration campaign and enrollment for the National Health Insurance Scheme effective August 1st, 2022. Every individual born in the Gambia or by Gambian parents and residents of the Gambia are eligible to register during this important national exercise by providing the following documents: birth certificate, national ID card or passport, driver's license, voter's card, residence permit, that certificate of parent, infant welfare card, Alcalo attestation. Rush now to register and encourage your family and friends to do so during this important campaign. For any information, call 1025. This campaign is supported by the Government of the Gambia and partners.
Welcome back after that short commercial break. If you are just tuning in, this is Star TV News. Now on the international news. At least 100 people have been killed in flooding in Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo. There have been landslides across the city of 15 million, destroying homes and roads. Al Jazeera's Alex Bird has more.
The backbone of the Democratic Republic of Congo's highway system, the N1, cut in two. Heavy rains across the capital Kinshasa have submerged entire neighbourhoods. It's being described as some of the worst flooding to ever hit the city. A landslide slammed into this home in the city's Binza Delvaux district. 9 members of the same family were killed.
We went back to the house to sleep since we were soaked and cold. We went back to bed, and just after, the wall collapsed on the children and the parents and then a neighbor who was passing by. I find it hard to bear. I have no strength to bury the dead bodies.
Poor regulation and rapid urbanisation have made Kinshasa increasingly vulnerable to flash floods, which have become more frequent due to climate change. Many homes have been poorly built on flood-prone slopes, and the city suffers from inadequate drainage and sewerage.
I've been a widow since 2015, and now my house is gone with the rain. I can't find one of my children. I don't know where he is. I'm a poor woman who is managing, but I don't know where to go. I've lost almost everything, even my clothes.
The DRC's Prime Minister and the provincial governor have been visiting flood-hit areas around the city. They hope to reopen the key N1 highway in the next 4 days, but until it's repaired, the capital's main supply route is cut off.
Everyone passes here, the traders. Now we will suffer. More entries of goods or even fuel will not be able to arrive in Kinshasa.
In 2019, dozens of people were killed in similar flooding across Kinshasa. And as heavy rains become more frequent, many in the city of 15 million are left wondering when this will happen once again. Alex Beard, Al Jazeera.
The United Nations says Iran is stepping up deportations of Afghan children who have left their homes to find work. Hornets are being dropped at the border in Herat in western Afghanistan every month, but their economic situation is pushing more to leave. Al Jazeera's Stephanie Decker reports.
Many of these Afghans have been through really tough times. A large number of minors among those returning from Iran.
The children registered with us are from ages 10 to 17. Sometimes we get children aged 8 or 9 as well, but not too many.
They left their homes in Afghanistan to find work across the border. Some have been deported because they don't have permits, and others simply decided to come back.
Everyone has their own problems, so I can't tell them not to go to Iran. Maybe they're desperate to go there. If someone is not desperate, they wouldn't set foot in Iran. When you go this way, you have your own blood on your hands. There are lots of obstacles, possibly even death.
My message to the young people is that they should not go abroad illegally, because it's tough and they can even die. My message to them is to stay in their country. They should study and work hard here, help build their country. And my request from the Taliban is to create conditions for people to work and provide employment for young people so they can stay here.
But conditions in Afghanistan are pushing more and more people to search for a better life abroad. Since the Taliban took power last year, foreign funds have dried up and it's become increasingly difficult to make ends meet. According to the UN, the number of minors leaving Afghanistan has almost doubled compared to last year.
And I think this is an indication of the severity of the situation. If a child is put in such a situation to make a decision to leave the school and to cross over to Iran to get a job and to support the family, I think that's a very good description what really the situation in Afghanistan is like. And this is not just one case, all the cases that of children crossing because of the current economic situation.
They will be given medical checkups and psychological counseling. And then they will head back to their families across Afghanistan, hoping to find a way to survive. Nothing here has improved since they left. Stephanie Decker, Al Jazeera.
Scientists in the US have announced an extraordinary breakthrough in the quest to harness the energy that powers the sun and stars. For years, researchers have been trying to find ways to make nuclear fusion commercially viable. Advocates say if the technology is perfected, it could provide limitless clean energy. Al Jazeera's Hedizu Castro reports from Washington, D.C.
On December 5th, 2022, at 1:03 a.m., humans for the first time created a star. It was a tiny one, contained within a cylinder smaller than a water bottle and only burned for 100 trillionths of a second. But the achievement by scientists at the U.S. government-funded National Ignition Facility at the Livermore Laboratory in California was indeed astronomical.
It's the first time it has ever been done in a laboratory, anywhere in the world. Simply put, this is one of the most impressive scientific feats of the 21st century.
Technically, what the scientists did was achieve nuclear fusion ignition. They trained 192 of the world's biggest and most powerful lasers housed within a complex the size of 2 football fields at a pebble-sized capsule of hydrogen fuel.
The fusion fuel stayed hot enough, dense enough, and round enough for long enough that it ignited, and it produced more energies than the lasers had deposited.
This blip of a star made only enough energy to light up a 60-watt light bulb for about 7 hours. But scientists say this was proof of what's possible. About 1 century ago is when humans figured out fusion is what powers the sun. Then about 60 years ago, a group of very ambitious scientists said, hey, let's try to replicate that fusion within a lab. Well, after many fits and starts, they were finally successful. And now the next ambitious goal, endorsed by the U.S. Department of Energy, is to scale up from that one successful experiment into a technology that could power electric plants.
There are very significant hurdles, not just in the science, but in technology. This is one igniting capsule, one time. And to realize commercial fusion energy, you have to do many things. You have to be able to produce many, many fusion ignition events per minute. And you have to have a robust system of drivers to enable that.
It will take several decades to advance the laser technology to that level. But elsewhere, including in Massachusetts and the UK, separate efforts using magnetic fields to achieve nuclear ignition are closer to commercial development. President Biden wants to see that happen within 10 years.
Without a doubt, it will be a monumental undertaking. However, the potential benefits are enormous. Clean, carbon-free, abundant, reliable energy capable of meeting the world's energy demands.
More immediately, the fusion development will help the U.S. maintain its nuclear weapons without testing explosions, according to government scientists. The implications are many and cause for both concern and hope in what scientists call a potential milestone for humanity. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Before we end the news, a quick recap of our headlines. President Barrow wants PCC not to inaugurate its new complex without government's presence. Gambia Fire Service lacks equipment to handle high-risk fire outbreaks. Ministry of Communications hold last retreat for 2022. Women Journalists Association of the Gambia relaunch and adopt its constitution. On the international news, do join us tomorrow for another bulletin. In the meantime, do enjoy the rest of our programs. Thanks for watching.